Well, the state's 13,500 public school teachers are one step closer to getting the pay raises their union has pushed for the past 2 years. The state and HSTA have settled on a tentative contract deal, and it's now left in the hands of the teachers. KITV4's Ryan Suji begins our team coverage, and he joins us live from McKinley High School with the latest. Good morning, Ryan.
Mahialani, good morning to you. That's right. Governor Wil Okabe, along with State Superintendent Catherine Matsuyoshi and members of the Board of Education, held a press conference last night announcing this deal just at about 7:30. Now, the new contract calls for a 4-year deal that would go into effect and take effect on July 1st, 2013 and run through June 30th, 2017. Now, details of the contract include a 3% pay increase above the restored 5% cut from teachers' salaries this past July. Now, beginning July 1st, 2015, teachers' pay increases of 3.2% will be directly tied to new evaluation ratings. Now, both the HSTA members and the state will have input on those teacher evaluations. Teacher health insurance premiums raised 2 years ago will also be restored to previous levels. Now, during the Sunday night press conference, Governor Wil Okabe announced the contract and called it the most progressive contract in the United States. A ratification vote will be held on April 17th. Now, the teachers that we talked to in this short period of time, I talked to a few last night, some even this morning, saying that they didn't really have a chance to really look through the entire meat or the entire content of the latest contract. However, many are very excited that the negotiations have resulted in this latest offer by the state. And again, that ratification vote will happen on April 17th. Now, if all of that is successful and teachers approve this, the latest contract will then take into effect on July 1st of this year. Mahialani, back to you.
And Ryan, you know, you've been covering this issue for a while now, and you've talked to many teachers, and you've heard their frustrations. What have you heard recently in recent months from these teachers?
Well, you know, we've seen those work-to-rule protests, which has been held, started at Campbell High School and then held throughout the island, and they've really helped to spur up a lot of the motivation for the teachers to kind of band together. Most recently, we saw a large rally at the state capitol with thousands of teachers coming together and also protesting and really trying to get the message out to Governor Wil Okabe. So I think over the past few months and really the past few years, we've seen these rallies by the teachers to really come together, and they were just calling for a fair, or what they're calling a fair contract, and a lot of it was stemming from not only the evaluation process, which is also written into this contract, but also into the health premiums that a lot of them were pushing for that. So I think many are happy to see this latest offer back on the table.
These are some of the things that we're going to ask Wil Okabe right now. Ryan Suji, thank you so much for that live report from McKinley High School. Now, continuing our team coverage this morning, here to explain more about the contract and what the teachers will be doing now is HSTA President Wil Okabe. Good morning, Wil, and thank you so much for joining us at this early morning hour.
Thank you.
So let's talk about why it took so long for this agreement to come to place after 2 years. What was the turning point?
I think the teachers are very engaged in the process of negotiations, and that helped to put some pressure on the state to settle a contract.
We heard from Ryan in his live report about that rally at the state capitol. Do you think it was the rally and how the teachers are so vocal about this?
The rally generated about 5,000 teachers, and on Oahu alone, there are 8,000 teachers. So definitely that had a very big impact in trying to settle a contract.
One of the sticking points for the teachers has always been this evaluation process. So can you explain a little more in depth how this process would work?
Well, I believe that the main issue is that the HSTA will be at the table to try to resolve some of the differences in regards to teacher evaluation. But because HSTA feels that we need to have quality teachers in the classroom to help the children of Hawaii, and one of the things is that very important for us to be able to have the dialogue with the department.
Now, last year when there was another tentative contract and the teachers felt that they just didn't have enough information, and then that contract was rejected, how are you going to make sure that this does not happen again?
That is correct. I mean, this time around, we're going to make every effort to get the information to the teachers. Number one, in this next 2 weeks, our agents, along with school-level leaders, officers, will be going to all of the schools and have complex meetings to inform our members about the contract.
Now, the contract includes pay raises. It restores those cuts that were implemented. Why do you think that this contract, this tentative contract, is a good deal for our public school teachers?
Well, we believe that it addresses a lot of the concerns that teachers had. Number one, about better language in regards to teacher evaluation, compensation, along with medical benefits. Those are the three areas that the teachers are very concerned about, and it addressed all of those three implements.
I know that this was just announced last night. Have you heard any early information from some teachers out there? What are they telling you?
Yeah, already I've been getting a lot of information through Facebook, along with many of our teachers have emailed HSTA in regards to the contract. It seems very positive. But I want to inform the teachers and not only the public that it is very important that the 13,500 teachers vote in this ratified contract in April 15th, because we cannot depend on someone else voting for them. Everyone must be really engaged in trying to get to a ratified contract.
And you talk about the teachers voting. The last time around, there were some scheduling issues. They were off on break. And so now, does it look like there might be any sort of scheduling issues or conflicts as teachers go into this voting process?
No, because we're going to give every effort to our members so that they are informed about every aspect about the three issues in regarding the contract. So we'll have about 2 weeks to really dialogue with our members, to address any of the concerns or clarify anything that the teachers are concerned about.
I know this has been a very long process for you. What would you say to the state right now and the DOE as you move forward?
We're very pleased because this addresses transformation in Hawaii as far as public education is concerned. This addresses the concern about student learning, making any effort to try to be the leader not only in Hawaii but throughout the nation in regards to, transformation of public education. HSTA has really made every effort to try to engage our members, and I think that at this stage of the game, our members are very engaged. They understand that they want a contract, but it sends a very strong message not only in Hawaii but nationwide that HSTA and along with the state of Hawaii wants to put education at the forefront of student learning.
Well, it'll be an interesting few days. HSTA President Wil Okabe, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And to see this interview again, you can head to the top video section of our website, kitv.com. We'll also replay portions of this interview at 6:30 this morning. It is 5:42. We'll be right back.